and in front of a live studio audience. It's the Eggman Show!
Who's it brought to us by? Mr. Announcer.
Brought to you by Tidy Whities.
If they're not cutting off circulation, you're not doing it right.
That is the tag for it.
Who wears briefs anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Those are grandpa underwears.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Well, pretty good.
Good.
You know, we're here.
Yeah.
I have to do those openings to wake me up, usually.
Oh, that's how you wake up.
Yeah.
No coffee. Or is it you drink a little bit of coffee before that gets you that initial...
Oh, I pound a Red Bull, and then I do
That's
that
right,
opening.
Red Bull.
And then I'm going to pound another Red Bull right now.
I'm the coffee. I'm the coffee guy.
Yeah.
The coffee quaffer. I'm on cup
I
number
like that
6.
one.
That's too
You
big
like
of a
coffee
word.
quaffer?
I'm going to need it shorter.
Sorry.
That's a good little callback. I see someone watched yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about that later, though. Yeah. That's right. Introduce ourselves. Those voices you hear, that's Two Littles, 505.
That's me.
And Coffee and Corn Dogs.
I'm going by coffee quaffer now.
Coffee Quaffer. How are you doing?
Who?
Coffee Quaffer.
Who's that?
Damn it. And I'm Frankie10029 if we're playing that game.
Well, that is your name.
Yeah. So, things have been fun. Things have been good. News was interesting.
It's been some interesting news this week.
Yeah. Should we get right into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we can. Did you actually get news?
Yeah, I threw it in there. You have way more than I do, though, so, you know.
Typical. Could do more.
Well,
Did you really just three articles?
I had more than that, but obviously they were taken.
Did I steal those?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't find a whole lot of interesting stuff, honestly. Like, there's two things in here that are like, okay, that's I guess interesting. But then I was like, there's the stuff that you stole, but everything else, like, it's like, okay, this is kind of filler stuff. I don't know. It felt like a weird news week for the video games.
Yeah, I did see like an interesting thing. There was like an interview with Rebellion CEO Joshua Woolens.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually post it because it is again it's just an interview.
Mm-hmm.
But I found it interesting. Rebellion Games, they make like the Sniper Elite games, and mostly known for like, you know, AA games at most. They talk about how they've been able to not be a part of like a lot of the layoffs and their strategy around like how they run their business and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty interesting little interview.
Yeah,
it's out there. I think they did the interview with PC Gamer. And I got the names backwards. Joshua Woolens was the PC Gamer interviewer.
The PC Gamer.
Yeah, he's the PC Gamer. and the CEO is Jason Kingsley. So I had the names backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good little interview where they talk about how they just kind of manage, and they want to like focus on making like smaller games and not trying to go too big.
Yeah. Oh, that's something that we've talked about before. You know, it's the overreach of
they got
these companies,
like,
especially the ones that like blow up. And I get it; they want to do something bigger and better than their last thing. But
yeah, they got like decent IP. You know, they got the Sniper Elite games. They got the Evil Genius games.
mm-hmm.
If you played those, the like base building game.
No.
Evil Genius. It's pretty fun. It's kind of like 2 Point Hospital and whatnot, but with the guys of you setting up like a villain, a super villain's like evil layer with henchmen and whatnot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's pretty fun. So they have some good IP and stuff, and they seem to, they have like a rough guideline of being like, they like to do 2/3 like sequels and IP stuff, and then like another like 1/3 of their work is done towards more experimental things
Mm-hmm.
and coming up with new IPs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a cool little interview. We were talking about cool articles we were looking for this week.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like newsworthy to really bring in, but it was a good interview.
Yeah, sometimes those interviews are just interesting, you know, like, I don't know. I like talking about some of the interviews that are fine.
If they were talking about something a little bit more prevalent, I
Yeah.
probably would have included it in news, but
Yeah.
they do talk about the layoff thing a little bit, and you know, that just comes down to their scope. Like we've talked about before, some of these companies, they get too big of a scope behind them. And the whole like COVID boom for video games really put a lot of CEOs and board heads in this like
Well, I think
idea
it gave them, like
that
false,
could keep going.
Yeah, it gave them false expectations, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, all they saw was money and not sustainability. Which is
Yeah, they
par for the
quickly-
course for CEOs.
Yeah, they quickly get like hypnotized by money,
Yeah.
and they want all of it.
Oh yeah, I like money.
Yeah. See? We have a CEO here. Who is that?
What's his name?
Which one? Should one? Yves Guillemot?
No, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's what you were going for, Andrew, but you sounded like guy from Idiocracy.
Oh,
Oh,
that's what I was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
But I forget what his name is. His last
Sam
name.
Rockwell?
No, that wasn't Sam Rockwell. I forget the actor's name too, but
Oh, Zach Shepard is the
yeah,
actor's name.
Zach Shepard.
Yeah.
That guy's hilarious.
Yeah. No,
He's also married
'cause
to
isn't-
Kristen Bell, isn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I have a pretty adorable relationship, honestly.
right?
Very
Oh, they're
cute
both
celebrity.
very attractive people.
That's true too. Yeah, cute like celebrity couple.
I just remember his character's name though. His last name has like, isn't it like 2 or 3 business names?
Oh, probably. I mean, that's how the president is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Camacho, Macho, Boundu.
Taco Bell. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Oh, speaking of Taco Bell Mountain Dews, did you guys know that KFC also has their own Mountain Dew flavor?
What? I did not know that.
Baja Blast. They don't. It's not a like different Baja Blast flavor, but it's a peach honey. It's supposed to be like a peach tea kind of Mountain Dew. I've never tried it or anything. I
This
just
might
found
be
this
the
out the
only
other day and I
reason
was
to go
fascinated
to.
by
That
it.
doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me too much because those are owned by like
It's
the
owned
same
by the same
people.
company, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be Tri Food Groups. I don't know what they're called now, but
I don't know because they have more than 3, but yeah.
yeah, Tri Food Groups. Yeah, they own Pizza Hut and KFC and Taco Bell. And if you're
A&W.
lucky, you might one day see a combo of those 3 restaurants.
They also have A&W.
They don't really make them much anymore, though. Yeah, oh yeah, they own A&W as well, yeah. I guess they're not really Tri-Foods anymore.
In Boise, there was a A&W KFC Taco Bell
Wow.
combo.
Nice. When I lived out in Virginia, they had the KFC Taco Bell Pizza Hut combos out there.
Mm-hmm.
You'd see them pretty often.
It was crazy.
Anyway, yeah, just so not to disrupt the regular news. I just found out that KFC does their own unique taco.
That's
they've
news.
got their own Mountain Dew flavor.
I think that
I didn't know
qualifies
about
under
this.
the level of news we do.
Yeah, that sounds
Not
like
like
the
we're
only reason to
reporting on
go
big
to.
world events or anything.
I'm just curious now about it, honestly.
Yeah, same here.
Might be good.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm always curious on any of the Mountain Dew flavors. I used to be more so. Nowadays, they mostly all taste the same.
Oh, I don't think so.
There's like slight differences. My favorite one has been like the lemonade one that they had. That was like really good.
I was a live wire guy myself. I was like the
The orange
or was that
soda
the
one.
the
big
orange one?
surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
Coffee and corn dog
just-
does love his orange soda.
I
Orange
fucking
soda's
love me some
delicious.
orange soda. Yeah, Kel had that shit figured out.
But Slurge was my jam.
Slurge.
Yeah. Surge? What is the
Surge.
There you go. I'm thinking
Slurm.
of Slurm. What is that? What it was called in Futurama?
Slurm.
Yeah.
That's Futurama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wig waggle waggle.
Wham, wham, wham. I'm so tired of partying, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Slurm
So we get into news then?
No, don't make more Futurama references.
All right. I guess I'll start with some actual news. A 55-year-old coder from Texas has been convicted by a jury for causing internal damage and to protected computers from his former employee or employer, Eaton Corp, which apparently is just some like power management group,
Mhm.
power management solutions.
Yeah.
They actually have some places here in our city too,
Not
in
surprised.
Albuquerque. But yeah, apparently he worked for them for 11 years. And he put in some malicious code into the server or whatever he was working on.
Mm-hmm.
That when he got fired, it had like a kill switch on it, designed to start shutting things down as soon as he was laid off.
Wow.
I just kind of got to laugh. The code he used, he named the ISDLE NABLEEDINAD, which is an abbreviation. Because of course he's a damn coder. The code is Davis Liu enabled an Active Directory, and it's like an automated activation upon his termination. So as soon as like the directory switched from him being like in there to not being in there, it set off like a whole thing of like infinite loops and system crashes that the company was trying to figure out what was happening. It took them a while, but it all came back to a server that this Davis Liu had access to.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being in trouble for causing hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses, as well as like productivity, and apparently it even messed up some like not just like other employees and stuff, but also for some like customers.
Yeah.
As it was like erasing it was erasing like employee files and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So people would come in and not be able to log into their computers.
Yeah.
Blue did admit to investigators that he created the code design after questioned. I find it kind of funny. He hasn't gone in for sentencing yet.
That's like, that can lead to major security issues. But this is how people's data gets leaked. This is how you're. Oh yeah, no, this is a major way. It's usually now more and more inside people who are, they think they're being funny, or they're setting up something like this, in case they get fired or whatever. And then it's a leak, it's just something that somebody
FBI
gets
agent,
into.
The FBI agent that was, I guess, in charge of the investigation said, sadly, Davis Lewis used his education, experience, and skill to purposefully harm and hinder not only his employer and their ability to safely conduct business, but also stifle thousands of users worldwide. And that's where that
this is literally something that we're talking about with. I've been talking about with one of my clients. It's like, how much do we lock down something? Do we even tell people that it's going to be locked down because maybe they don't know about it? And just the security implications. The amount of time that we've spent just discussing this. If an end user is going to wreak havoc and leak data, it's ridiculous, because it's like, this shouldn't be a concern. It shouldn't be something that we have to worry about. It's like, customers coming in shouldn't have to worry about if their credit card is going to be leaked. Like,
I mean, mostly what Lou seems to have done was delete a lot of stuff. It didn't seem like he was copying things out of there,
but it's not just that. It's the fact that you have somebody who's doing something in an improper way that then leads to somebody else gaining access. This is exactly what we were talking about with my client. Being able to access data just out in the world, that's a security concern in and of itself. But it's like, what do you do? Like, I don't know.
Well, you gotta have people you can trust. I mean, they had this guy for 11 years. So I'm not saying like.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see like what led him to do this, because if he just did it, like, it's a big, like, no, that's beyond an asshole move. Like, again, you're threatening.
Just from that.
It's not just from what?
It's not just like him being an asshole. It's not just him doing it to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the corporate did like a reshuffle and stuff and reduced a lot of his responsibilities and workload. Something that he didn't seem too happy by. Which is when he started looking into setting this stuff up.
That's still kind of like it. I don't know. Again, you're putting at risk innocent people. Like, it's one thing if you're upset at your company. I get it. But, putting at risk random customers as well as your coworkers, I think that's kind of shitty. If it was just something that he did to his company, then that's another thing. Because, like, I can get that as well. Like, yeah, like, things are it looks like things are closing in on you and the company, and so you're going to be upset and whatnot. You're not getting the promotions that maybe you deserve and whatnot, and feeling not valued. I do understand that. So.
Yeah, I mean, he might have taken it too far. Unfortunately, he now faces up to 10 years in prison, although I doubt he's going to even get close to that.
Yeah.
Honestly, he did quite a lot of damages. He'll probably have to pay a pretty good amount. But I doubt that he's going to get close to 10 years.
Yeah,
from what I
probably
looked up, I didn't see any other like record behind this gentleman for anything else.
I mean, it's kind of bad, but it'd be weird to throw the book at him for it. So if he does, that's
Like it's a
shit.
bad thing, but it's not like he's like the first one to go about doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just randomly throwing the book at people.
Yeah.
That's just maximum sentence that he could be facing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no yet date for sentencing. But yeah. If you're gonna do damage to your employer, make sure it's all internal.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: like the cybercrime stuff, it's becoming more and more of a thing, and there's a bigger emphasis on companies taking action against people. Like,
Go like figure out a way to delete like all their like.
Well,
all like the files on like the rest of your employees, like write-ups and stuff. Just go delete like all that shit.
that's pretty funny. That's good. I like that. That's like everybody's grade to an A.
Yeah.
Like, here's the bottom line though. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, just make sure they can't figure out how to get it back to you. You know, are their logs turned on? No.
Apparently,
okay, go ahead.
Apparently, from his work laptop that he had to turn in, he did do searches of like how to like hide your processes and stuff. So he went looking.
He went looking.
Make sure that stuff stays internal.
Yeah.
So I have very little pity for apparently that group. They make like millions and millions of dollars.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't feel pity to the company or whatever.
Like
but.
they said like a big number for the damages he caused, but a lot of that is kind of like a drop in the bucket for him.
Yeah.
Even their big number, when you go and look at their page and their profits, it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What you got?
What do I have? I have
Something cool.
This SNES speedrunners stuff.
Oh, is this about the Super Nintendo's like speeding up?
Yeah, it's so weird.
I read something like vaguely about it, but I didn't look into it too much.
So the thing is, I guess like speedrunners started noticing that when they were playing games on an actual console, an old console, versus like doing it inside an emulator or anything like that, the games playing on the console seem to be running better. And they're not sure what was happening, or they used to not be sure, but it seems to have been kind of drilled down that it appears to be one of the chips that in an oversimplified way, as it's gotten older, the heating up affects it more, so that it actually runs a little bit faster. The clock inside of the chip doesn't run correctly, basically, so that allows it to
That's
run
kind of
faster.
hilarious,
right?
It's like as the SNES ages, it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's learning.
It's learning. It's becoming sentient.
Soon we're gonna find a Super Nintendo roaming the desert, lost.
Right. Yeah, it's just really weird. I don't know. I have to read this whole write up here, because IGN was saying that the temperature isn't as significant as what might be going on with the clock speed inside of the chip. So I haven't read this latest update, but just the fact that this is happening is just something that's like, what is going on?
It's quite an odd phenomenon.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean,
Whatever
honestly,
is going on.
it's kind of amazing that there's still Super Nintendos around that are still working, in good working condition.
Apparently, they're pretty easy to like repair.
Yeah.
Like even like chipsets and stuff on them are apparently fairly easy to
Right. Well, these have to be like all original, I think, in order to have this effect. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the one chip that's affected, but either way,
I don't know. If they could figure it out, like they could probably get it fixed.
but yeah, just some funny stuff. You can do your even faster speed runs. I just wonder how like the speedrunning community is going to adjust for this. Like, do they just have to ban these Super Nintendos now?
I don't know.
I feel like that's what it's going to come down to. There has to be like some sort of clock test or something for them. So, guess we'll see.
I mean, at very least, they'd have to put what they're working with, right?
Well, that's how it already is. So
If they can figure out,
it might just always be its own category if you're playing on an original console, just because of that one fact. Maybe, I don't know. Guess we'll see.
Let's see. I got other stuff here. Oh shit!
I
just closed Discord out completely.
Not completely. I can still hear you.
Well, obviously. For my viewing.
Obviously.
Let's see. There's another live service game. Died
Oh yeah.
tragically and really quickly.
Yep.
And it also kind of shows that it doesn't matter the IP. Star Wars Hunters, which launched like November of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's already gonna be shutting down. The game will remain playable until October 1st of 2025.
It's still longer than Concord.
Still longer than Concord. There's also another game that got shut down really quickly before it got to Steam. Another hero shooter. But yeah, I thought this one just kind of pointed out that like it's not just IP that gave Marvel Rivals their like lead.
Yeah. No, they didn't.
I mean, this is Star Wars, which also has huge fan base. But from everything I've read about Hunters, it wasn't a good game.
I didn't even know this was a game. I'm kidding. I've heard of it, but
I was vaguely aware of it.
yeah,
I was already skeptical
Never
of it.
heard anyone talk about it, and that's not really a good sign for games.
right.
Based
Yeah.
on the publisher. I don't know if they're the ones who developed it or if they're just the publisher, but Zynga is the publisher of it, who produce massive amounts of mobile schlock.
Yeah.
And so I was already hesitant on the game to begin with, and so I never did check it out myself. But everything I read about it was just over monetized and not great gameplay, like very stale and generic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So no surprise, it's shutting down. At least it made it almost a year.
I'm amazed that Zynga got their hands on that big of a license, honestly. Like, again, for what they're known for.
But Star Wars was out there like sending their stuff to like everybody.
Yeah, I guess that's why
They were like
so
flooding
downhill.
the market with Star Wars shit. This was like when this hit, that was with development time. That was just right around the time that Star Wars was sending its stuff to like every other IP to like everybody to try and produce something worth it. And that's just one of the terrible things we got. One of many.
I was gonna say one of the many.
Because once they start making money with something, they gotta wring that IP until it's dry as the bone.
Yeah, well, it just sounds like they have
in the desert.
a shotgun approach to that. Try everything and whatever sticks.
For sure. I mean, that might be one of the reasons that what's her name, Caitlin Kennedy, is kind of in trouble with a lot of investors. And from the latest thing I heard, is going to be out the door when it comes to Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Which
probably fair. She doesn't seem to have done any good.
She's done a few things, but I don't know. I think the thing is that, like, honestly, I feel like Star Wars has always had an issue with where its branding lies, because it's split, right? Like, you have the original Star Wars people who, they're older now, and you gotta appeal to them. Then you have the prequel kids who enjoy those, and you gotta appeal to them as well. And these are different tastes. And now they're all grown up, and then you still want to appeal to kids because you want it to keep going, because that's kind of what Star Wars was made for. So,
I mean, this might be a hot take, but I think a lot of like love for Star Wars comes down to like nostalgia.
Yeah,
like that family movie that you all watch is, with your families and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I've been watching Star Wars. I remember watching like the original Star Wars with my mom and dad, and then going to see the prequels in the theaters, and then more recently the sequel ones. But
yeah,
it's just kind of like always been there. It's always been like a little thing, but it's always been nostalgia. They've never been that good. Like, of course, the first three movies are kind of in a place of their own, but even when you go back and watch them, they're very generic movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of what they did is now what a lot of people copy. So, but even then,
for
like,
the time,
a lot
was
of
something new, right? Like, especially for like the original trilogy, a lot of like the effects and stuff they were using were all like new stuff. So it was definitely like had a place for it back in the day. But
yeah, acting wise, it wasn't like groundbreaking or anything, though.
Yeah, it's.
So yeah,
I like Star Wars enough to preface it with that, but I can fully admit that they're not like the most cohesive or best movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
They were cool for something in their time, and they did some stuff that was different.
I mean, and I know, I'll be fair, like, they still do some cool stuff. Like the first few seasons of fucking Mandalorian, they were great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten progressively worse, but
I do find myself more and more liking a lot of the Star Wars stuff that doesn't have to deal with like Jedi.
Yeah.
Or a Skywalker.
I still need to watch the Andor show. So
well, that one was solid.
Yeah.
Like that. Makes sense since it was a prequel to like the best Star Wars movie to come out of Disney.
Yeah, it followed like the Rogue One.
Yeah, it's a prequel to Rogue One, right? Well, it has to be. So.
Yeah.
Given the events,
prequel was that the planet exists. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I know some people go off on Caitlin Kennedy for reasons that don't make sense, and because she's a woman.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with. I think that she just spanned it, like she tried to shotgun blast. I think her shotgun blast approach to the Star Wars thing didn't do her any good.
Well, no, I think that's how they've been. That's how.
Well, that's Disney's approach to things. Anyways.
Yeah, but I feel like she hasn't done much different than what's before, except for maybe like going a little harder on it, like getting it out there more. But they, I don't know. I just think they've always had this weird issue with not knowing what exactly it is that they're selling, and it feels like they just get lucky. So
That's true. What else?
What else?
What else? Join our slavery program.
Yeah.
Or
Check out our
college
Discord.
credit.
Check out our Discord for more information on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There was some. We got a studio that got its. Who are now fully independent, acquiring the rights to their most recent game from Take-Two.
Oh, good. I wanted you to talk about this so that I could talk about my next one.
Moon Studios announced that it acquired the rights to its latest game, No Rest for the Wicked.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the studio is now fully independent. It bought back its last IP from Private Division, which was with Take-Two. Take-Two sold off Private Division, but kept a hold of some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, No Rest for the Wicked was one of those. Let's see.
So wait, did they just bought the rights for that game? Because that game they had an agreement with, right?
Moon Division or Moon Studios.
Yeah.
Bought it because it's their newest game. For the Moon Studios.
Moon Studios isn't owned by anybody else, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, Moon Studios is now completely independent. The only thing that was with them was No Rest for the Wicked, which was under Take-Two, and was originally under Private Division.
Mm-hmm.
But Take-Two sold off Private Division and kept the support and stuff up for No Rest for the Wicked. Apparently, though, the Moon Studios was able to, with some deliberations and negotiations, be able to purchase the rights back, so they can become fully independent over their product on publishing rights, at least. Moon Studios are the people behind like Ori and the Blind Forest, and No Rest for the Wicked is their new like ARPG game. I think it's cool. Let's see. Thomas Mahler and Janetti Coral. I have no idea how to pronounce that, and I'm sure I butchered the shit out.
Probably. That's okay.
That's what I was thinking.
They made some statements about the whole thing. It says our publisher for No Rest for the Wicked was Private Division, a subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two decided to sell off Private Division, which was an unexpected news for us. After some deliberation, we saw an opportunity, and after months of negotiation, we reached an agreement to buy the publishing rights for No Rest for the Wicked back, so that Moon Studios could become fully independent. This legal process took a while, and we could not say much while it was all happening. But today, we're excited to announce that it's all done and that Moon Studios is now fully independent.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
We now have more confidence because we are free to build No Rest for the Wicked exactly how we want without needing to ever go silent again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish them all the luck in their endeavors and whatnot.
Stepping away from Take-Two is going to be good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's difficult to do. Again, when you want to shoot for the moon, you know, it's definitely easy to go into a partnership with one of these bigger companies and then end up being controlled by them. And I mean, I don't know what their relationship was like. It doesn't sound all that amazing.
I mean, yeah. So from the Take-Two side, their CEO had kind of his comment on the thing was that we're not big in the context of our core intellectual properties at 2K and Rockstar. So basically not any interest in pursuing. Now, why they opted to hold on to it instead of selling it off with Private Division in the first place, it's kind of unclear, but I'm glad that could have made things a lot more difficult for Moon Studios.
Yeah.
So maybe it was something they had reached an agreement on beforehand. Like, it did come to a surprise to be sold, but that might have been part of like the negotiation with them real quick. Like, hey, hold on to this title and we'll buy it from you. But that's something we'll probably never fully know. Unless some insider comes out and says something about it.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Good job for Moon Studios. I still need to play No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah, me too.
I really liked Ori games.
Right? I mean, I clearly did. I played it so many times on the stream. Still trying to get that no death run.
Right.
I don't know if that'll happen, folks. It's difficult, to say the least.
So what you got?
Well, I didn't realize actually that's what that article was about, because mine was also about Moon Studios.
The same studio.
Yeah. So thanks for taking another.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I got, though.
It's not my fault you didn't pay attention that I'd already posted it.
I was just trying to skim real quick, and I found so many already.
That's what you get for skimming. I've been keeping track of articles and reading them all week.
Then why don't you post them immediately?
Because I don't know. I
because that would help
save
me,
a whole
actually,
bunch.
You know.
I save a whole bunch, and then
instead of you just holding them in your pocket at the end and throwing them down like like you're a world class poker player.
You could post them.
Boom.
You could post the article too as soon as you see it.
I do.
Be like, hey, I want that. No, you don't.
I do it in the morning.
Well, that's why. Yeah, because you skim it an hour before we do the podcast.
No, I read the articles. Sometimes I just do it like super late at night before I'm going to bed.
See, that's your fault.
That's my fault. It is. I'm sorry. I don't have time to do it. Whatever. I got all this other shit going on. I'm trying. Okay? Why you gotta yell at me? So
I mean, most of the time I just like star a headline until like later on in the week when I have time to read it. So.
Oh. Yeah, no. I try to read it down there because if I start, then I won't go back and read it.
Most of the time I start trying to read them on Friday, the articles that I've starred, and see what I want to actually pull.
Yeah, that's fair. Way to what's the word? Mediate the situation here. Make us all calm again.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm good at. All right, now fight.
The last thing I got here is actually for Balatro, Local Thunk, their developer. There's this weird discussion that ended up on their Reddit, where basically some people were posting some. It sounds like fan art, right? But some of it was AI generated, and the mod basically put out there like, hey, you know, we're not saying you can't post any AI art. You just need to, you know, give credit for it or whatever. Make sure it's all on labeled, the up. Right? Yeah. However, the developer of Balatro, they came out and they said that they actually do not support that. They don't support any AI generated images, and they are banning any such images on their subreddit from now on. So they wanted to make that clear. It's weird because it sounded like they had a miscommunication on what was allowed and what wasn't, but they did revoke the mod's permission. So
well, I'm sure it was like, hey, like, okay, so a mod's job is pretty much to keep local thunk from having to do it, right? Having to deal with all that stuff every day. So it's probably a situation where they like made the best call they could at the moment. Like right off the bat, you don't want to like fully offend your like the fan base for local thunk by just putting out a statement and not having talked to them or anything. So I feel like it was a good like at least decision in the interim before you could have that conversation with local thunk, who then obviously decided, no, I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily like having a bad mod.
Yeah, no. I mean,
like,
that's the thing, though. We don't know what else was discussed between them and the mod. So maybe they had a disagreement still, and that's why he's gone. It's not necessarily just because of this incident and the way it transpired. Because they outwardly admitted like they didn't have good clarification on when it came to AI on what's acceptable and not. And that they would work with their mods from here on out to make sure that everyone was aware. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like, from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't seem like that person, that like mod, got like completely taken away. They just got some permissions taken.
Yeah, they're not allowed on that
because they're not the only mod.
No.
On that subreddit.
No. But yeah, they still have access to another. And here I don't know if it's maybe not controlled. There's another subreddit for Balatro, that I don't know if they don't. Like I said, if they are exclusively in control of it, that mod, or whether it's local thunk that has control of it, and they're just a mod on there. But over there, he is allowing, has stated that there will be days on which AR art will be allowed. But yeah.
Maybe it was a disagreement. I believe we won't really know. My point was that I don't think that was necessarily a bad decision on the mod to do, like, off of initial response. And so I hate for people to go out and attack that mod because of it.
Yeah.
Or harass that mod or whatever.
Right,
like we got enough watchers for that. But still, don't go harass people. That's bad.
No, it is bad. Don't do it.
Although I kind of agree with local thunk that generative AI art is mostly just stolen work that people got no money for, to be used in their algorithm.
I mean, I don't know. My opinion on it is that it's just another tool in an artist's toolbox. If they want to use it, they can, but you shouldn't expect it to just be like type something in, boom, you're done. Post it on the front of our video game cover now. Look at this zombie, he's got 4 fingers. This one's got 6.
He's better that way.
Well, that explains where the other finger would.
Yeah, exactly. It all evens out.
he's better. He's got more. He's got more fingers. He's better. Like what we talked about before, if you want to use it as like a concept art, like inspiration board and whatnot, fine. I just, in general, like the whole like programs themselves have taken, like, into like local thunk's point, they've taken a lot of artists' work to come up with those AI, those generative AI tools.
Yeah.
And those artists got nothing for that.
Well, I think that's what's interesting about what China has done, you know, or whatever their name is, that AI company from China. You know, because now, you know, companies themselves can run their own AI model, and yeah, just use, like, you personally can run it on your computer because it's apparently that efficient. So you can use just your own art, your own assets. You don't have to rely on these giant large language models anymore.
Well, like, I'd support any of those models that if they actually did go and like pay artists for stuff and made artists aware of what they were doing, and if they got artists to sign on for that and paid them accordingly, then I would hardly have anything much to say about it, right? A lot of it for me is like giving the artists their credit.
Yeah.
And the fact that they took all that art without really permission or compensation. That's disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all you from here.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, shoot, since we're talking about AI stuff, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the SAG-AFTRA strike.
Yeah.
For video games. There's a little bit of news and updates that has come out.
Yeah, so there's more of these talks going on and some weird shit that's coming out from it.
Yeah.
Like, how is this even like a talking point that's going on between these companies? I don't know. This is crazy. Sorry, take it away.
Anyways, SAG-AFTRA has been on strike with video game companies since July of 2024, trying to protect their members with critical AI protections, as one of their terms. And apparently, the union has pointed to some proposals that have alarming loopholes from companies like Take-Two, EA, Activision, Warner Brother Games, all the big ones. There are a number of companies to date. Just as a little update, there are a number of developers that have already signed this agreement and have permissions to work with, SAG-AFTRA voice actors.
Yeah.
So there are developing companies out there that do agree with a lot of this, but it does seem like a lot of the big ones are really fighting for any of it. So an update that was sent to members in March here, as of this month, is that they talk about how though progress has been made and arguments have been reached on certain provisions since we launched our strike last year, our last proposal the bargaining group made is still filled with alarming loopholes that will leave our members vulnerable to AI abuse. The union recently submitted a counter to this proposal that diligently addresses all of the loopholes and would result in a contract that offers the minimum protections to our members needed in order to maintain sustainable careers as video game performers. Asking the members to still hold the line. And I mean, some promising updates, but it does seem like there was some major loopholes. It doesn't really go into too much here. But as of their last update to members, I mean, obviously that's going to try and be pretty upbeat, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to send like, "Hey, this isn't going well," out to everybody.
Yeah.
They point to some things like company or a lot of actors or voice actors who don't necessarily need to be participating in any strike, also doing so in solidarity, even though the games they work on aren't a part of this, because there's a number of games, like a lot of live service games and stuff, have like some safety measures there that if they were already working with them, they continue.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah. Which will actually kind of continue into what's going on with who is that? The Hoyoverse developers?
Who?
They're the guys who make the Genshin Impact and Zone Zero and whatever that other sci-fi one is.
Mm-hmm.
They were part of that whole like agreement where people could still work with them.
Ah, okay.
Of course, there are some actors there that who are unwilling to perform their work with them because they won't say anything about this agreement and are still refusing to sign it. Even though their work is still acceptable, they've refused to work and they've been replaced. The person who voices Soldier 11, Emery Chase, wrote on Blue Sky that he made a personal choice and has since been replaced. And he found out through the new season launching.
Wow.
And his voice not being there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there was a couple, or at least one other Nicholas Turkettle.
Nicholas Turkettle. Okay.
Is another one who wrote on learning all about this as you are shocked. I share your shock. Neither Highverse nor Sound Cadence or Hoyoverse nor Sound Cadence has communicated with me since October. I have been fully available and recorded multiple voice jobs in that time. I'm trying to learn more and absorb this news. Stating that they had been replaced too. They voiced Lakon in the game. I guess I don't fucking know who it is. Saying random words now.
Yep, that's what it sounded like.
But yeah, it seems like they learned about this when the new season launched. Now, of course, this kind of falls into like one of these loopholes that they're kind of talking about. Although they didn't get replaced by like an AI voice, at least to my knowledge yet. But they did get replaced. These two actors who were in solidarity striking were replaced. So technically, Hoyoverse did have the right to replace them. But it just goes to the state of like the big companies' opinion about the strike in itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
like they really are hesitating to sign it.
Yeah, and that's not good.
No,
That doesn't.
it's not. It's good to see a lot of smaller ones are.
Mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
a lot of smaller studios are like, yeah, we agree.
Right.
And a lot of them right off the bat were like, yeah, we agree. We
Yeah.
will sign.
I
But no, you have these big ones, Take-Two, EA, Activision, and Warner Brothers, all refusing to do anything so far.
Yep.
Sending negotiations, most recently one with alarming loopholes, after already like 18 months.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I hope they lose out all this
Or not
business. I
18
hope
months.
all of these.
It's been almost a year.
It's only been that long.
It's been
I
almost
feel
a
like
year.
it's been longer, but
I know 18 months felt like right to me. That's why I
Yeah.
said it. But
yeah.
it's not even close.
Yeah, I don't know. It's this company's.
But they also had that strike just before it with like TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
So they've been on strike for a while, just with random.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I guess it goes to show you just how little game developers are appreciated in the industry. And this is why, if you talk to anybody, if you're interested in doing game development, they will tell you don't.
What I find interesting too is that I was reading another little interview, and it was with Baldur's Gate 3 Astarion voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how his agents kept him away from like video game, even some of it without his knowledge. They did not want him to do like video game acting because it has such a black stain on it. Obviously, he had gotten rid of those like agents and did Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
And thankfully, that was his introduction, or like a big introduction for him into video game acting. And he got to work with a studio that like gives a shit.
Yeah.
So he likes it now, but it's with those companies, man. Like, why are these big companies that should really want to work with like good actors and stuff making these decisions?
Yeah.
Come on, Warner Brother Games, you need all the help you can get, man.
Right.
Take-Two, come on. There's so many ones that just they want to use AI so bad for things that need a creative mind when you should be using AI to help you with the menial things.
Right. Exactly. Like, how about we let the AI do your job? Let's let the AI make the CEO decisions. I bet you it will be better.
It'll work better.
People will probably be happier because at least the computer can understand that it needs to have empathy.
I just find it funny that we were always told AI is supposed to be like to help us and give us the time of day to do the more creative things in life. But no, every company wants to do it to take away the creative things in life so you have more time to work.
Yep.
On the tedious things that suck.
Well, I mean, and that boils down to money, right? It's cheaper to pay the people who do the tedious things than the artists that do the beautiful things.
Yeah.
So stupid, but whatever.
I just find it an interesting thing that AI was supposed to do, and because of greed, it's doing the opposite. Let's see. There was a lot of interviews this week that I saw. So Roblox CEO and co-founder David Baszucki had an interview with BBC News. Of course, this comes at the end of like Roblox being called out for like
not being a safe space for like anyone.
Yeah, Bloomberg reported on the pedophile problem. The child labor stuff that they face, and most recently Roblox had put in some new child safety protocols, which included more robust parental controls and limit access to certain age-gated experiences, prevent users under the age of 13 from communicating via platform chat. BBC, however, claims that they were able to bypass some of these safety controls to exchange messages between two fake accounts, one aged 15, one aged 27, respectively.
Wow.
And suggested moving the conversation to another platform and playing more adult games. So they were still able to get through it. Roblox CEO did make some statements on there. He says regarding a lot of it, a lot of like the should parents keep their children away from Roblox? He says, my message would be, if you're not comfortable, don't let your kids be on Roblox.
Yeah, you shouldn't be comfortable. So
that sounds a little counterintuitive, but I would always trust parents to make their own decision.
You know, I was okay with giving them the benefit of the doubt of like, okay, they have to come up with all this security stuff that's going on because they have to adjust because, like, okay, there's this problem that's brewing in their platform that they didn't foresee. Like, I can understand you're creating something that you want to be fun and whatnot. You know, you want people to enjoy, and then it can feel blindsiding, I think, when you find out that there's this sort of problem going on. So trying to fix that, I can understand it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort.
I don't necessarily disagree with this, the statement in general. Know what your kids are playing, know what your kids are doing.
Exactly, yes.
And measure it accordingly. But
it feels like they're not doing enough. Like they're just
from Roblox.
They're pushing off.
When you look more into the interview and stuff, the guy addresses BBC's engagement and how they got off, you know, what they did and how they got around his stuff. And the CEO felt that that incident highlighted how Roblox safety measures actually work to protect children, largely because the BBC had to suggest engaging off-platform. Even though that it doesn't address the point that they were still able to get into a chat with a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
It just harkens to the same thing that like they kind of said to like the child labor and children making games and stuff and how they're being exploited. He kind of used the same excuse as that they were being brought off platform, and that's not his fault. Because once it leaves Roblox, he can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat true, but you initiated that behavior you allowed that behavior to begin with.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that he allowed, but it doesn't feel like they're doing enough.
No, it never does. And for a game that's like is kids, like the game is for kids.
Yeah. That alone should mean that you need to pay closer attention.
You should have more of a concern about any of that,
right?
Than just trying to be like, oh, well, parents need to pay attention. And yes, but you don't need to create a place that makes it easy for them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I guess in summation. Fuck this Dave Baszucki guy.
Bazooki.
Fuck that CEO, like I always say.
Yeah, no, I mean, I again, like you said, you should know what your kids are getting onto and whatnot, and definitely, I've talked to some parents that aren't aware otherwise, and have told them like, oh, your kid's on Roblox, get them off of there.
You should probably.
Yeah, like it's just not a good place. Like it's not. Whatever monitoring stuff that you have, it's probably just not good enough. So, but yeah, it just feels like, I don't know. It feels like their statements and what little that they've done, it's just, it leaves me feeling like they don't care. They like you said, they just want to make money, which, that's all good and well, but there's a point where you're gonna have to start caring about.
They're okay with offloading that problem onto someone else.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's Discord's fault because they go to Discord, and what can I do about that?
Yeah, right.
Well, you could try and stop it at your side before they got to Discord.
Right. So
I have very, very low opinion of this guy, so that doesn't help. If you do want to watch the interview, it's on the BBC News. I think you can find it on their YouTube, probably, or on their website.
Very probably.
NetEase is being sued.
Yes, they are.
For $900 million over allegations of spreading false and defamatory rumors of fraud at the studio that ultimately forced Possibility Space to close in 2024. Yeah, this was an insane article. Possibility Space is just, developer studios. And they closed kind of mysteriously and suddenly in 2024, and no one quite understood why.
Yeah.
It turns out studio owners Jeff and Anne Strain have sued NetEase for these allegations, stating that they spread rumors and stuff saying that they were frauding people in order to get basically blacklisted and have no other choice but to shut. Basically, they got bullied into shut down.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, here's the thing: when you have a company like this who controls all these other, or has a stake in all these other smaller developers in some way, shape, or form, this is how it goes a lot of the time. It's unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, there's even more rumors coming out that NetEase is going to be closing other places as well. So it's going to continue on. Will they win this lawsuit? That's going to be interesting to see.
I don't know. NetEase says it's going to, of course, defend itself. It's definitely got the money to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just kind of, Possible Space was working on an unnamed project, and their unnamed publishing partner expressed low confidence that they would be willing to invest any additional resources needed to complete the game. It just kind of ended up into them shutting down.
Yeah.
The lawsuit claims that NetEase caused the defamatory rumors to run rife in the gaming investment community during a sensitive time in the industry. including false statements accusing Piratenna of fraudulent mismanagement. There's a lot of stuff in the lawsuit.
Yep.
I 900 million seems like a lot to me.
Yeah.
But what do I know? It doesn't seem like much when you look at like NetEase's overall sum of money, but hey.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of this that seems a little weird. Like, why are you seeking, what was it? The article said, triple the amount of their valuation.
Yeah.
So, like,
seems a lot, but I do know that you're supposed to go higher than.
Well, you want to make sure you can recoup everything that you can.
Yeah, I know you do want to go higher, and part of that might be from like the legal cost. NetEase is going to try and drag this out as long as possible, most likely.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. Because here's the thing, with the defamatory lawsuit, it's kind of like oh yeah, one defense to it is, yeah, I said these things. Here's the proof that what I said was true. So, I mean, if they were mismanaging their own company and, you know, like, if they didn't want to give them money because they were looking at whatever project they were working on and were like, yeah, we can't do this for the amount that you want. Like, it could be legit, you know? It could be like, hey, we can't continue this partnership because you guys aren't doing well. Like,
yeah, I mean, some of what he's claiming was also confirmed by some other people within this like investment community.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the suit also claims that Jeff Strain became aware of the allegations of fraud at Crop Circle Games, which is another one of these people somewhat involved. In February of 2024, just before they closed again. Shortly after which NetEase employees Han Cheng, who also served on Crop Circle Games' board of directors, acknowledged that NetEase was the source of the rumors.
Yeah.
So that does point to NetEase being the ones who released this stuff. NetEase's statement, of course, is the allegations made by Piratenna Media and its founders, Annie and Jeff Strain, are wholly without merit, and we emphatically deny and will vigorously defend ourselves against them. Our record as a global gaming company speaks for itself, and we remain committed to conducting business with integrity. We are confident that the legal process will vindicate our position and shed light on the real reason behind the demise of the Strains studio.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things we're gonna have to see how this shakes out exactly. So.
Yeah. We will. Did I not put it in here? Oh yeah, okay. I just must have accidentally lost the tab. Ubisoft still facing shit. Ubisoft shareholder is trying to set up a protest outside their offices. This is actually the same investor that we had talked about before, Jirai Gupta of AJ Investments, who's claimed horrible mismanaged that Ubisoft is horribly mismanaged by current management and he wants a clear roadmap for recovery. He's pointing, of course, Kupta's pointing a lot to the Guillermo family,
which is fair.
But he's now pointing at them again because apparently they've been having discussions between Microsoft and EA in acquiring IP from Ubisoft. So IP seems to be trying to sell off some of its, or Ubisoft is trying to sell off some of its IP.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, and they're trying to do so secretly behind the board's back, which is obviously not a great thing, or behind investors' backs.
It's so weird. The way
That's because
they're going
there's so
about
much
this.
shit. I mean, it's some more like Ubisoft in more recent statements say that, they really want to like give it back to their core. So I think they're trying to sell off like a lot of their IP so they can reduce that number. But them trying to do so behind like shareholders' back is pretty like bad. It's like bad business form.
Well, that's the thing where they're the only ones who are trying to, that seem to be like really have a stranglehold on trying to keep the company alive. Right? It sounds like the rest of the board, I mean, maybe I'm speaking for too many people here. At least this one guy seems to think that what needs to happen is a big change. Like, why try to save the sinking ship,
Yeah. I mean, Krupa, the minority shareholder, has been very loud about what he wants.
Yeah.
And it's basically for the Guillermo family to be out. And then for whoever to come in to have a clear map of how to recover. I mean, I don't even think it'd require much of a timeline. His big thing seems to just be wanting the Guillermo's family out.
Yep.
Tencent, what it was able to get a little bit more of the company more recently, but the Guillermo family still does not seem to want to let go. And honestly, that's the only thing. They're going to run it to the ground. Like, no one has faith in them anymore. They're not talked about, especially in like just the broader video game community. They're not talked about well. Ubisoft's faith is like fallen off.
Yeah.
Sure, they're probably going to sell like a pretty good number of the Assassin's Creed game, but if that doesn't go well, it's not going to be good for them. Their Star Wars Outlaw game, which had promise and had merit, failed utterly. They've just been in such a shithole slump, and all to the decisions made by the Guillermo family. The investment into NFT games, to the point that they even released these games. All their decisions have not been great. No one has faith in Ubisoft anymore.
Yeah, no.
And it's because of them. If they left and things changed, Ubisoft would probably have a chance. They have great IP behind them. And every so often they can pop out something that's pretty decent. And usually it's by one of their like back end people. Was it that the new Prince of Persia game was really well received? Wasn't a success because they didn't advertise it enough and whatnot.
Yeah. Agreed.
But it was really well received. It's unfortunate.
Indeed.
Fuck Yves Guillermo and the Guillermo family. Get the hell out of gaming.
Right.
I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
Okay. Release dates. Do we got any good release dates coming out?
Sure.
Any
Sure.
any games that you guys are looking forward to
In the next week.
in the next week?
I have no
16th through
None I
22nd.
can think of. Should there be?
Let's see. We got My Sims. You guys interested in My Sims, the Cozy Bundle?
idea. No.
Your
didn't think
Sims?
so.
No.
Let's see. 33 Immortals. What's this? Never heard of this.
Oh, I think I. looked at that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that
Yeah.
could be fun. That looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. Oh, that's not next week. That's gonna have to. Oh no, it is. Yeah, 20th. Okay. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, the complete edition.
Ooh.
Finally.
I haven't played Roller Coaster Tycoon since like I don't even know how long. It would date me for
This
sure.
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which came out a long time ago.
Mhm. Okay, well, we got some Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition that's coming to the Switch on the 20th as well. Let's see, I think Bleach, Rebirth of Souls. People like the Bleach games, right?
I have no idea.
Never even seen the show.
Yeah, and then Assassin's Creed Shadow.
A Crassen's Creed.
Oh. All right. Well, let's move on. Oh, short on time here. Speed run the weeks. Who's going first?
I think we're fine. I don't think we have.
I went first last week.
That's true. You did. You did. I remember that.
I don't think we have a game today.
Okay. I'll go
Frankie,
first.
how was your week?
Let's see. How was my week? I played some games. I played Balatro mostly, followed by. Oh, okay. Wait. First, for Balatro, I got the highest score that I've ever gotten, so that was exciting.
Hey.
Yeah, I finally got
That's
into the E's, so yeah, it was kind of
Very
nuts.
I bet that makes you pretty formidable.
I don't know.
Don't play poker against this guy.
Yeah, if I can have a lot of like weird, crazy,
Yeah, if you
random rules,
Cheat your balls off.
Yep.
Then yeah.
then I can do some things. No, but let's see. Marvel Rivals. Been playing some more of that. We've been doing more competitive. I really want to just kind of have the skins. I don't remember even who the skin is for this season, but it'd be cool to have options and whatnot. Brienne got there. She got to gold. That's cool. But that new mode, I'm really digging the Clone Wars inside of Marvel Rivals. It's been a lot of fun. It's a really good switch up.
I've seen a lot of like people love it or a lot of people hate it.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem to be a very.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's going to be very much either you're totally into it because of what it does, or you're going to want nothing to do with it because of what it does.
I've just seen a lot of both takes online.
Yeah, I think that's fair, 100%. I mean, I like it because it's letting me like, it's kind of forcing me to check out other heroes. You know, it's kind of like mystery heroes in that way, from Overwatch. But then on top of that, it's just it can be some, like, what do we have? We had a Rocket versus Magneto fight. And so like our whole team was Rocket, their whole team was Magneto. We had some decent survivability, and like it was great because like if one of the Magnetos pops off their ult, it was like, cool, we can blow up Magneto's ult because all of Rocket's just firing at once just overloads Magneto almost instantly.
He doesn't even have time to fire it before he blows up.
If he throws it right away, he does, but if he spends any time but because of Magneto survivability, like we were just eventually dying, so it made me learn a little bit more about Magneto, because I switched over to him to try to give a good counter, or at least just keep up. But yeah, there's like interesting situations that it brings in, you know, like when you have just these two random characters who might not seem like it would be an interesting fight. Like it can just the silliness that can happen is great. So I'm really enjoying it. That said,
I got super burned out of Rivals.
yeah, you guys are playing a lot. Like, I'm amazed that Zoe and Rian still want to play. Although I guess Rian, I don't know if Rian played as much as...
It's actually not amazing to me. Zoe is very singularly focused when it comes to video games.
That's true. That's very true.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, and she's even been saying how she's not, like, super into it lately, you know? Like, she'll play a few rounds with us and whatnot. But she's been playing less, apparently. Fae Farm. She's been playing Fae Farm. She got into that.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's gonna play that for
yeah
an unknown quantity of time.
Yeah, until that game's beat, which it won't take Zoe very long, knowing Zoe.
No, like a week and a half.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's a pretty simple game. Yeah. I mean, like the longest thing is gonna be doing all the collectibles and whatnot, obviously, but yeah. And let's see. So today I started playing this Eternal Strands here on the stream. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like the way it flows and controls. Kind of what you expect from JRPG-ish sort of game. There's still, I mean, I'm literally learning the game on stream, so.
Is it like you're gonna play a JRPG? Really missed by not playing a Yakuza game.
Well, this one is supposed to have some multiplayer stuff in it, which I mean I haven't got to at all from what I can see.
I was gonna suggest it to you and Sky, because it looked like a really cool 2-player game.
Yeah, exactly. So
was that Split Fiction? You guys should play that Split Fiction.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And stream it.
Mm-hmm.
Play it and stream it.
Oh, now look at that. Okay. I didn't know I had weapon options. Oh god, I suck with this thing. But it's pretty cool so far. I'm interested. So we'll see how it goes, like the powers that you have available. It's very forgiving. I feel like I've put myself in situations where I definitely should have died and haven't, so there's that.
That's nice.
Yeah. I think I did actually select easy, so maybe that's why. And yeah. Severed. Been watching that. You guys heard of that show?
Severed? Never.
Oh.
Yeah, what is that?
Severed. I've heard of Severance.
It's Severance. That's what I meant.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Of course. Yeah, it's getting really Like this last
That was
episode,
funny.
I could just feel the show kind of pumping up to its penultimate factor, right? Where
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, things are about to happen. You
I
just
got
wait
I
and
got a
see.
little worried because last season was 9 episodes, and this Friday was episode 9, and I was like, oh, so we're at the finale. And then it ended, and I was like, this better not be the case.
Yeah, I went and looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay, it's more than last season, so it should be good. Because yeah, Ryan was like, that was the last episode, and I was like, no. I looked it up. We're fine. Don't worry.
That's what. Yeah, she had the same thought I did.
yeah,
The last
exactly.
episode, I'm about to hurt someone.
Right.
I'm about to hurt someone.
But yeah, it's such a good show. I'm loving it.
So next week, Severance spoiler,
Spoiler
Episode?
cast, yeah,
or we can just go off on it.
100%. I'm all about it.
We'll make sure we can just talk about it now, but you have to be severed to watch the stream.
Oh.
so that you don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair.
So only the severed can listen right now.
We probably already did talk about it. I don't remember. I had my innie do it.
Right.
I couldn't even tell.
I have an outie.
I am an
that-
outie.
That episode though was really good.
Yeah, it's funny too because you know, in all the video game news feeds that I have, they've been talking about Severance for a while, and now I just notice it more every week.
No, I've actually noticed it more recently. In the last like month, a whole bunch of people have caught on to Severance.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really
Being
like
really,
gotta
really good.
hit its like tipping point.
Yeah.
Everybody's catching on to it.
Yeah, so
So why they
like,
stop sleeping on it?
Hmm.
just recently,
I'm one of them.
Moist Critical
You were, yeah.
did like
I told you it was good.
Yeah.
a review on it.
Oh yeah.
So like there was a whole bunch of big names too that recently did a review. So yeah, it's just gaining a lot of popularity
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it deserves it
quite quickly right now.
I think it definitely deserves it.
Most assuredly, it's so good.
Yeah, and I'm it's funny. I'm very much getting from vibes from the storytelling aspect of it.
I think that's what me and Andrew decided to move on to next.
From
Yeah,
it's good. It's
Right.
From Severance. Once we're done with that,
Yeah.
move on
Yeah.
from Severance.
yeah.
yeah, 'cause- yeah, we're running out of shows.
Yeah.
Running out of shows.
It's tragic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
We're
when
currently
you
watching
can
two
definitely
shows and they're about to end. Running out of shows, we got to move on and figure out something else to watch.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that From's definitely. I mean, it's clearly a different vibe. It's very more horror, but yeah, the same sort of mystery storytelling vibe. Very good. I approve. Oh shit, my first boss. But let's see. I think that's it from me, honestly. Yeah, I haven't been doing anything else. So yeah.
Well,
have you
why
guys been
haven't you
doing?
done anything else?
'Cause I've
Monsters.
been working a lot, and I've been trying to figure out where I'm gonna live.
Sounds like personal problems to me.
Always
Yeah,
got an
it is.
excuse.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fair. Andrew, how was your week?
I went first last week.
Yeah, that's why you're going second.
Unacceptable. I had to go second this week. What?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So you know
That you're going right now.
Hey, you
yeah,
are.
to go. Yeah. 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 Mostly Monster Hunter. And there was some.
Hunting monster.
There were some shows. There was the new Invincible.
Oh, man,
Severance
that
is setting
episode-
up for something crazy.
That
Invincible season premiere was pretty crazy too. Or season
Yeah.
finale was pretty crazy.
yeah, season finale was insane. The
Yeah.
main bad guys being voiced by Jeffrey D. Morgan,
Yeah, he did a
Oh.
great job.
who did fantastic of playing an absolute psycho. Best delivered line is, so I'm gonna rip you in half and eat your heart.
I really believe that guy
Nice.
was gonna eat my heart.
And he said it like just like that too, like that. Just very. This is
Matter
what's
of
gonna
fact.
happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
This is what's happening now.
Believed every word he said. Yeah. It was an awesome episode. Cecil up to no good.
Yeah, he's always doing something shady, but also I guess like morally gray. But yeah, really good. Yeah, really good season finale for the show. I'm excited to see what more is gonna happen.
Yeah. Wonder what they're gonna do. Where they're gonna go.
Only one way to find out. Tune in.
But considering how close it's been to the comics,
Wait like
probably
2 years.
just go that way. Yeah, animation takes a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's usually worth it, but son of a bitch. How's Monster Hunter been?
Monster Hunter's been great. Tearing it up right now.
You like
Beating some
finished
monsters.
it, right?
I beat the game, yeah.
Oh.
Like the main game. So now I'm just like grinding equipment and now it's just Fashion Hunter. Now I just care about my how my hunter looks. It's my main reason I ever try and get any armor anymore is because I think it looks cool.
That's fair.
And then so the same's true for like the weapons. Honestly, I'm just choosing weapons now because I think they look neat. Like I don't care about the stats anymore. But yeah, it's been really fun. It's a good game. Kind of short, I guess. I mean, but these Monster Hunter's always been about like end game and stuff and fighting the big scary monsters. It's not all about having like it's not like a JRPG. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Japanese. It does have some RPG mechanics, but
Yeah.
it's not like somewhere you get like 500 hours out of it or whatever. I mean, I guess you still can, but it's mostly just punching the same monsters. You set your own goals in this game. Most of mine revolve around getting cool looking armor.
Totally
That's-
fair.
It seems important.
And learning how to use the hammer. Blam! The hammer's a pretty fun weapon, because I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
Wind up my hammer. Yeah, a lot of fun. I don't know if it's worth no $70. I'm very much so against that whole becoming the norm, but I mean, I guess as far as new releases go,
You've enjoyed it.
been really good. Yeah. I've had a few
Solid.
crashes. It's not the best PC port. I think some people have a lot like. There's been a lot of complaints about that, and those are valid.
Mhm.
It's not the best PC port. It's okay though. It doesn't crash all the time. My biggest problem, and it's mostly the like multiplayer connectivity, because it does not. Sort of seems to struggle sometimes with it. I could just finish this game with like some other guys fighting with me, but or finish that hunt with it, but it's hit and miss. I don't know if it's my end or the server end. I feel like it's probably the server end, 'cause I've seen a lot of complaints about it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I'll like join a hunt, it'll just drop me out of the hunt and be like, oh, just give me some random error code.
Yeah.
Like connection error. Yeah, all right. But it's pretty good about like backfilling that stuff. That gives you AI companions to hunt with if it can't find you online people to play with.
That's good. That's a good fallback.
You get to hang out with some of the other characters from the story too. It's kind of cool. Hang out with Olivia and her squad, or at least the hunters and her squad. Russo and
those
another
Monster
guy.
Hunter games, at least World, which I'm a fairly more familiar with, it'll like get like way better once the like next big, or probably it's one big DLC comes out.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they treat it like the last two Monster Hunter World game or Monster Hunter games, then we'll get like they'll drip feed new monsters and new weapons and armor through events and stuff, and just through by way of adding new monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll do like one big DLC that'll add like a couple new areas and a shitload of new monsters and content. But everything but the DLC should be all free. It was in the other games. They don't have like, it's not all money grubby microtransaction-y, which is nice. I didn't get the special edition though. I don't know how special that was. You get the special edition, Christian?
I did not. I looked into it. It didn't look worth it.
There wasn't much there. Yeah, couple like.
I think they did the
customization
shitty like give you early access.
They did do the early access thing. That's dumb. And like it just immediately loses its value when the game comes out. There's no reason to get that special edition.
Yeah. Special editions used to be cool, man.
Yeah.
We're in the digital world now.
Well, they could make them more cool digitally.
And I'm a digital girl. No?
Yeah.
I like it, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought that was pretty good. Some people just have no taste. And their names are Frankie.
Yep. Clearly. No accounting for taste. But yeah, went pretty no life to Monster Hunter this week. And watched a couple of shows. Oh, and Reacher, the new season of Reacher started on Amazon. So I'm watching that. It's good. It's fine. I pretty much only watched that because I've read all those books.
How is Reacher?
It's good. It's fine.
How's he doing?
Oh, I feel like the actor didn't feel like doing as much stunt work this season. So
Oh, really?
He just shoots a lot of people in the head now instead of fighting them. My guess is that, I mean, he's getting older, I guess, too. Probably didn't want to do all that stunt work. And how do you get a body double for that guy?
Right.
He's like 6'5", 260, just a fucking truck of a man.
Beefcake.
Beef cake.
Indeed, yeah. He does pop his shirt off, though.
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I haven't watched the show, but I've seen it enough for that. It almost kept me coming back.
But I mean, it's okay. It's a good show. It's fine if you like that. It's it's your Jack Ryan or whatever. It's
Yeah.
Nothing crazy there.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's about it. Did I watch a movie? Probably no. I talked about The Gorge last week. Did you guys check out The Gorge?
No.
After I hyped it up so much last week.
You said it was
Talking about-
terrible.
Yeah, I did, and it is. Yeah, aggressively mid.
Why would
Damn
I
shame.
watch it? I'm going over your
you're into it.
recommendation.
I told you if you had 2 hours to kill, it's something to do.
It's true.
Just make sure
I never
You
really had 2 hours to
don't
kill.
think about it too much.
Fair.
Yeah, that's pretty much my week. Exciting.
Hmm.
Christian, take it away.
I wasn't prepared.
I was first last week.
Really milking that, huh?
I told you I was. I got
You
so-
did say you
I've got
were
so
going to
much-
do that.
I've got so much time I've baked on that too. I think what the end of May. I'll stop.
That seems excessive.
I got 2 months out of it.
You got 2 weeks out of it.
No, it's 2 months. I did it 2 weeks. It was red.
Like, yes. All right. I had a week. I also got a cat in my lap.
You got a cat this week?
Cat in the
I got a
lap.
cat in the lap. Typical cat in the lap.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like it does like lab.
I did things. Actually, not that much. I mostly played this game I'm playing now. Nights in Tight Spaces, which just came out. Super fun game.
Yeah.
Which is a sequel to Fights in Tight Spaces. I've just been calling it Knights in Tights because I like the sound of it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds sexy. Super fun card game. I'm not typically into like the deck building games. But this one really seems to scratch an itch. Doing really well on it. Feels really, really tactical and like positioning matters. In the first one, you were only one person, but in this one, you play like through a little like fantasy adventure, and you can recruit 2 other people or 2 other characters to go with you. So you have like a little like squad you manage instead of just yourself, which adds a level of complexity. And it keeps getting to me, and I feel like an idiot most of the time while I'm playing this game. I have found out I am not good at this game, but I do quite enjoy it.
Hey, if you enjoy it, you'll get good at it. Give it some time.
Eventually,
Yeah.
right? It's gotta happen at some time.
Yeah. Maybe after you die, in heaven.
I would hate for me to just be bad at the game. No, it's super fun. It can be rather difficult. I'm playing on its easiest setting currently, and it is like I'm actually getting through this. So I might see the actual whole story
Mhm.
to this one. I never saw the whole story to fight to the first game, Fights in Tight Spaces. But I might see the end of this one, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting. They added a lot more like difficulty options
That's good.
in this game, which is probably for the best.
My opinion is more options, the better.
Yeah, it'll be cool to be able to see the end of it, and then the other difficulties I'm more than willing to try. Yeah, but it'll be cool to actually read the or to see like the story the game has to offer.
Yeah. Sure.
The story's been pretty funny. You can make some choices and you get rewards based on your choices. Pretty standard roguelite. Yeah, that's pretty basically it. I dragged that on about as long as I could, I think.
Well, drug.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't really. We watched Invincible, which was awesome. Severance, which I thought was going to be the finale, but it wasn't, and so thankfully we get an episode next week.
Yeah. Uno mas.
They're so like they left it on such a cliffhanger that I was like, this better not be the end of the season.
Right.
The show has yet to really leave us on too big of a cliffhanger.
I don't know. I felt like last season's ending was a pretty big cliffhanger.
Well, look, they were doing the whole like overtime contingency thing, right?
Yeah, where specifically where I left off with Helly, like that was like shit. What's gonna happen? Good thing I'm watching season 1 while season 2 is almost done.
I did not. We had to wait a little while.
Yep.
I had to wait a long while. I watched
started it just
I watched
before.
the first season when it came out.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, what is this? This sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I did rewatch it with Christian before the new season had started, which was probably a good idea because
right.
There's a lot going on in that show.
Mm-hmm.
I have been watching just as like, kind of background noise and stuff. I've been watching Aqua Teen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been hilarious.
Good old Aqua Teen. I have not watched
but that's
that.
really about it. I haven't really done much this week. It's been pretty boring.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. It happens. Well, I guess
You don't have to tell me it happens. I get it. I'm boring. It's cool.
we're old.
I'm
Like,
glad you understand that.
yeah. Come to terms with it. It's good.
Yeah, deal with it.
Yeah. You're the oldest, so of course you have to deal with it first, but
Ouch.
thank you for your service for paving the way.
It would hurt me if I cared.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up here.
Cool.
Thank you everyone for joining us this week. We have our website, classicgamerbrain.com. You can check out past episodes there. Catch us here on the Twitch and the YouTubes almost every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. That's
Join us
Denver.
next week. Although
Or-
keep in mind we will be spoiling the shit out of Severance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll
Join
announce
us.
it beforehand, but the big Severance spoiler episode.
Yeah.
It'll be good stuff.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Oh, and join us on our Discord. You can get the link in the Twitch and the YouTube page and our website. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you guys. Thank you, Coffee and Corn Dogs.
Thank you.
Thank you, Two Littles.
Oh, you're most welcome.
And we'll see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. It's the end of the show, so now we gotta go.
It's beautiful.
End of the show. be a bitch show.
You just gotta see how long you can go with making up lyrics.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's all I
It's
had.
that long.